Inseparable on the first half, but it is Avangar who managed to pick it up in the second and close out cash. We do have to break this one down as we continue to try and find who will be taking another spot in the Legend stage, or Legend stage, coming into our next round of competition. We do have two lovely analysts, none other than Sean Gers and Chad Sponge Birchall, previously of the mouse and keyboard, now of the microphone. Gents, let's think about this one. Cash, it doesn't feel like we've got too much to say. I mean, expectations were low for what Tyloo were going to be capable of on this map, Sean.
Yeah. Tyloo looked very lost on their T side especially. I was impressed with the way Avangar opened up the map. They had so much success taking mid control throughout the early stages of this game, particularly Fitch. I think he was 8-2 in opening duels throughout this match. The first gun round where he gets the pick in mid, drops out vent, gets that kill on the B site. That really kicked Avangar off to an excellent start. It's so hard to not have your CT side get snowballed on cash. It's a difficult map to come back on.
It's surprising considering the style they went for, of just like limping out onto sites and taking duels, that was working against a team like Tyloo. We spoke about the fact that these guys like playing a heads-up, very aggressive style of CS. Well, they were given the fights. They just weren't winning them. And then when you look at the fact that we switch on over, he had kick out over towards A. On a lot of the time, a few rounds there, he was on his own, and he was able to delay for long enough for the rotation to come in, or just multi-frag to completely lock them out. So massive props to him on his CT side performance. And all in all, Tyloo, they just looked a bit lost.
And they like fighting back from a disadvantage. I mean, this is now probably the third map we've seen from Tyloo in a row where they concede over 5 rounds before they get their first. And then they manage to come up with these ridiculous strings of rounds to keep the halves even.
Yeah, but this game was a little bit different from the previous ones we saw at Tyloo. There was no huge individual performances, no real big clutches, I guess, to bring them back into this game. They looked a little bit flat, if I'm being honest.
When you talk about an aggressive side, you normally expect them to get a lot of opening duels. In this matchup right here, they went down 9-19 in opening duels against the like of Avangar. So when you're not winning opening fights on a map like Cation, that basically cracks open the whole bomb site. No trade potential there. You get locked out. You find yourself in a bad position, and I guess that's all that happened for Tyloo in that one right there.
You guys had high expectations from Tyloo coming into this one. It weren't met, and you can see that map stat for you there. I don't know what map we're talking about.
We might have moved on to the second one.
That is the Inferno stats, because I know Avangar has a 40% win rate. And that
Maybe
is
we
a
should
little
add
bit
a picture
deceiving.
next time.
Yeah, that is a little bit deceiving, though, because Avangar's only wins lately have come against Wendigo and Pro 100, and those aren't necessarily strong teams. They're not like Tyloo.
Exactly, and when you think about like Tyloo in this event, that we saw them play this map already, and they looked very convincing on it, and they did have that aggression, right? They're more than happy to take those fights, the individuals stepping up. Just think back to the London Major, and they had success on Inferno as well. So a stronger map in the pool, and it makes sense as to why they picked this one.
Yeah, I think I'm expecting to see 3 in this one. Tyloo so damn dominant on Inferno in their previous ventures there. I do want to talk a little bit about how they are positioning themselves, Chad. I think you have an opportunity to bring up that map, and we can actually just start having that conversation about how Tyloo have been playing their Infernos so far.
Yeah, in the early stages of the game, we saw they like to lean 3 players towards B. That leaves a lot of pressure on attacker towards pit, and extra either plays towards the arch side. We've got it on the telestrator right here if we can bring that bad boy up for all the viewers at home.
I've got it. Hang on, I just need to plug in a cable. One sec. Okay. It's surrounded. There it is.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah,
That's perfect timing. So the trio over towards B setting this up is Benta. He has the likes of somebody with him. And then Summer is the guy in support, the third player there to come over and really lock down this banana aggression. What that means is if you're the likes of Avangar and you want to take advantage of this, you can just make a quick play up middle, pop flash, and either swarm towards Excurate, or you can go over and just try and see if you can pincer onto attacker through like an early holes play and force him to use a lot of his utility early. You don't even need to commit to that, but you can go for very quick holes and boiler control versus setup like this.
The banana control, though, Sean, is something you talk about all the time.
Yes.
You say it's a win condition. It is the primary focus of a T side, well, both sides on Inferno. The things Tyloo do for banana control are a little unorthodox.
Yeah, they're not afraid to just directly peek the half wall. I mean, they don't smoke the bottom of banana. They're not afraid to take that fight immediately at the start of the round. They leave somebody there with an up a lot, and that's something to look out for sure. I don't know if Avangar is the type of team that's going to be willing to jump through a mid-smoke. That's the one thing. They would have to do that if they want to take advantage of the 2 people at the A bomb site.
Just some of the things that they've been doing, though, is they've been on Cage. They were playing very slow. Well, they were playing individual, looking for fights. So that's curious to see how that's going to come in here because you're not given as much room on the T side. They might have to go more execute heavy early if they want to find themselves in a position of isolating players. If you're going to spread out, allow Tyloo to play their game, that's when they're going to find their comfort. And so that's going to be a big question mark in what approach Avangar are looking for.
Execute heavy, does that sound like a word you'd often attach to or attribute to that of Avangar?
They've got a couple. reliable, you know, but they're not hugely reliant on it. It just seems their tempo in a lot of the games has been very slow. Go back to the Renegades game to kick things off. It was the same kind of thing. So if players aren't finding picks, which has already been proven it's working, I guess they should just go on with confidence and be happy to take heads-up duels.
Yeah, and Inferno's a map that actually Avangar might not have a lot of experience on with their executes, unlike Cash. You know, that was something that is a home map for them. They were able to play loose, and also late in that first half, they were able to fall back on executes. I don't know if they're going to have the layers on Inferno that they did there.
No, we're going to be finding out if we do see 3 or if it will be Avangar through the CIS. They do it every single time here at the Major, and now Avangar 1 map away from taking a leap to the next stage of competition. To guide you through and to find out if we do see 3, it's Henry G and Sadakist.
Thank you so much, Alex. Yes, we'll jump into it. Inferno, Tyloo, Avangar and CIS. That's how he described it. That's absolutely true. The CIS always managing to get a number of teams inside of our top 16 at the majors. But I'm impressed that we could have almost had, and we still can, have Vici and Tyloo in there potentially.
Absolutely. I feel like Tyloo should make it, and Inferno is their pick. And as the analyst pointed out, they're very strong on this particular map. They're the favorites going into it, and they've got an aggressive play style, focusing 3 players towards that B side of the map on their CT side, but it's Avangar that kicks things off on the defense. We'll see what they can bring to the table here. They've only got Kevlar, no utility, no kits. And it's a very different story. 2HE suggests we're going very quickly towards the B bomb side in Tyloo and nading towards the top, and that's exactly where they're going towards. 3 players start to make their way towards it, but Fitch is actually pushing all the way towards the bottom here. This is aggressive, to say the very least. It's going to be Tyloo finding the first couple of frags, and as attacker will take down Crism as well. It looks like this CT push has fallen flat.
James, he was positioned right, but couldn't find the headshot onto attacker. He'll back himself into a doorway, a cavern. One. That's all he got with it, though. Kiekert's going to add to that on the other side of the map by getting somebody, but all that really does is to confirm that there's no one else on B. He knows that anyway. He's the only one left alive as he pushes down through middle, and bomb is already planted at the A sites. Considering the fact that they've gone back down, is he just going to save this? He's got armor, I suppose. Listen, this is some of the things you're going to see from time to time with this new purchasing system, or new money system, if you want to call it that.
It's because it's Inferno. They're going to buy up on that second round, and the fact he has armor allows him to even get a UMP potentially instead of the CZ. So he's going to do that. He can't win the round. He hasn't got the kits. So it's likely they get CZs next round with smoke and a flashbang each as well. Try and treat it like a gun round. We have seen Avangar pull off some tremendous feats with just pistols, so I'm sure that's what they'll be aiming for as Kicker holds onto the armor there. They tried the aggressive push down middle with 3 players. Really didn't work out for them. They lost almost every frag there. Fitch was spotted early on, and Hardy were ready for the push right down towards T steps there, so well done to them. It's their map pick. They kick things off in style. On the T side, winning the pistol as attacker with 3 kills. Into that second round. Like I said, I'm assuming a force buy comes in on the CT side here, especially that saved Kevlar. Could even get the FAMAS. They're not going to go for anything here, so going for the 3rd round purchase. A lot of teams do force buy in the 2nd round. James got a Zeus. That's about it. Kicker doesn't even get a PT50, so he wants to have as much money as possible for that first gun round. He knows how valuable every bit of utility is, so they don't want to waste any money at all. Cheeky spot from James, try and get a kill.
Cheeky weapon to do it with. Zeus kill. Have we had one yet this major?
Not that I'm aware of.
We've seen some attempts, but none that were successful. I seem to recall 2 on Mirage in particular. Summer already up inside of the stairwell to join attacker, who now works out from boiler, knowing that it's clear. Full stack. And they're heading toward it for now. There's a minute left on the clock, though, and having attained the mid-wall and not spotted anyone yet, they can actually now afford to take advantage of that, hold it, and fall back. Bomb's already doing that toward Banana. If they wrap Arch and don't see anyone, they should be confronted at least by Buster, but yeah, go straight through. This is done.
Yeah, absolutely. 5-man stack on the A site. It wasn't like they were going to win the round either way, so just took a bit of a gamble here. Could be one of those rare rounds where we see all 10 players survive, because at this point, if you're Avangar, you're only going to be feeding them money because they've got SMGs out, and that's $600 per kill. So you might as well hold up and see if they are hungry for kills. And if they are, you could maybe trade one out. So you might as well hold strong on the A site and see what you can do. KitKat's still got armor at least, so something to save there. And hoping for mistakes made by the terrorists here. And the MAC-10s will go hunting. They know even if they go down, they can buy up an AK next round. It's not the end of the world, as they're almost certain the CTs buy up into the next.
Quick check from attacker toward pit. No one spotted. Makes perfect sense that planting the bomb, they just immediately ran for the kills because they know exactly what you described.
It was.
Somebody's down. I love the sound of a Zeus kill.
He only gets the MAC-10 out of it, but still.
It's the same noise I heard Chad make when we waxed his leg.
It's good. That's a good point. Maybe he was trying to imitate it. It is a good sound effect. And we do have the buy coming through. Jane with the Zeus kill, but he did go down. So no MAC-10 brought in. It's not like it was an ideal weapon to actually hold on the CT side. Anyway, he'll go for the AWP instead. And they've actually got an okay situation as the replay of that Zeus. Sometimes isn't the one-shot kill, but this time it was. Orcs are out. You can see they've only got 3 smokes here, though. And they've gone for helmets. 4 of them, knowing the MAC-10s are out there, didn't want to take that risk because those MAC-10s can be very dangerous against just Kevlar. 3 players towards the apartments. One of those rounds we described on Cash. You'll see set pieces usually, considering that the CTs won't have everything to hold you off, but that's a nice position from Jamie. He gets the opening frag with the AWP in the apartments. Somebody will be taken down, but Benteb, nice position to get behind enemy lines here. They can fall back and go B with his position in CT spawn.
Absolutely. Perfect position to lurk, catch off anyone going through library. They could wait, because if he can go library and actually get a pick toward the inside of the A site, there's still value in that, but it seems he's got other ideas.
Yeah, he's just going to hold up. They've got a minute on the clock. He's going to be such a nuisance here. Whether they're aware of it, I'm not sure.
The fact that he's actually there... He's spotted. I was going to say Kicker. He's there this long and they haven't actually put any information on means they have to consider it because they have no information toward the top of the mid wall, which is why Kicker looked that exact direction. So they lost him early and they can't use him on the take. He tried to pretty much go solo rather than wait for when they had to put their attention toward Banana, and it's cost them dearly. Kicker gets a second, but the trades finally do come through. Summer and Excurate to try and win it out against Crizzen, Jame, and Fitch.
They've got a smoke as well, so they can re-smoke that spawn area. That goes down. That actually gives them a fighting chance here. CTs, remember, a lack of grenades going into this one. That nade does a bit of damage towards one of the remaining Ts, but next grip, AK focused on spawn, Summer of the York. They can still win this, but it's going to take some fantastic shots here for it to become a reality. There's the first. Where's the trade? Where are the CTs? Here they come, and it's a quick finish there. Wow. And it's going to be Avangar's first round on the board. Just about without the kits.
Something I've noticed about James, similar to what I've seen from Guardian, on retakes, not as common with Guardian. As soon as the retakes are on, he's hitting a second follow-up kill almost instantly. Yeah. Which means, and we're not seeing it from his perspective a lot because the action's elsewhere, and then boom, all of a sudden he gets a kill. It means that he's holding an angle, knowing exactly what his obligation is in the role, and then they get one kill. The subsequent second player for the T side wants to swing out and trade, and he's already got them covered off. So he's very good at identifying where to hold on those retake positions with the AWP.
Well, here he is opening things up with that AWP, and then indeed KitKat's great job to be aware of Bented's flank from CT spawn there. It was a nice little chance for them to split towards that B side. Love that run boost. My goodness. That's explosive. So's this as they spread their flames down towards the T steps. The smokers there as well. The CTs have full B control, but this does cost them a lot of the starts. That's why they send 3 players there to allow the remaining CTs to have a bit of utility. That's going to be Buster. He still has a smoke and an incendiary. With that full banana control, they're going to leave just the 1 player on the CT side towards B and allow 4 to be set up on that A site. James doesn't feel completely comfortable though. Maybe wants to swap positions with Buster here because Buster dropped the smoke. So if you get the AWP set up there at barrels, they should swap out, like a tag out at this point. Once he's comfortable and set up, I assume that other CT will go back and join them at A.
James just waiting behind the barrels. You're right in assuming that because there he goes. There goes Buster. And here comes Tyloo. Missed shot from James. Buster's immediately going to hightail it back the other direction. He's got to get into supportive position because James, he's on 8 HP. And here they come into the site, running him over with nowhere to go except into Buster's weapon. He's got the M4A1S at the ready. Finds 2 immediately. And the bomb will enter smoke down. Boost naturally the next step to try and retake the site, to try and deny a bomb plant. Damage to both, but no kill coming through. It's now a 3-on-3 with Buster once again having to go aggressive toward the Ruins position.
Exciting round, this one. Advantage for Tyloo, though, I would say, with that bomb planted. Summer flushed out of position. He'll now hold behind the pillar. He's got the AWP, but flashes keep coming in, taking his crosshair out of position here. But it feels like he's going to hit one of these shots at least, and that's why they're together, making sure they can trade. The shot doesn't land, and that's the cue. He will have to fight too for nail. It's so close range. Will he be able to get it done? He can't, and surely they've got the kit this time. Buster will get on it because he's got it. Is he defusing?
He's got the ace as well.
There we go.
He's got the ace plus the defuse in holding the site. Very, very, very close for that op from finding a shot at Pillar.
I'm surprised he didn't. That's why they set themselves up in that sort of manner. The CTs were aware he's probably going to get one of those when we go through, and he misses the shot straight through the wickets, and we'll be Avangar tying things up 2-2. Looked like Tyloo had enough there, but the incendiary towards new boxes made things very problematic, all out of position, and you can see James. We built that up, and we were saying how comfortable that was, as we'll see the retake come in. Buster ace. Just wanted to point out, they got James in position. The idea was that now he's comfortable, we leave him there. He gets tagged under 3 HP, somehow gets away with it, doesn't find a kill, but Buster turns up, gets all 5, and has ruined the money at Tyloo here. They're just on CZ's armor, basic utility, looks like a B execution. This is what we call a partial buy. As they wait for their funds to stabilize. A flash towards the top to push Orpers back. James at this stage, wanted to throw that ideally, but still got a challenge for the kill. They can boost over and make things very problematic. I think that's what they're going to go for here. Now already misses out on the first kill. They want to be more defensive here. Get a crossfire set up.
James wants to go back out. Into the walls, not a bad decision. There's a lot of players there, but he goes between all of them. Still certainly they're ready for the entrance. Smoke down, he wants to get back into it. Counter flash, though, comes in the exact same time.
Back and forth with these grenades.
Really
like a wall.
These pistols can be menacing on B. When you get this deep into the site, luckily Buster's also toward the emo position. Fantastic shot by Excurate. And James on the AWP, this is exactly it. He can be overrun so quickly. If he misses even 1 or 2 shots, bomb down, that's a very good job already, and they've got an AK-47 on attacker who has armor. There's a chance they can actually pull this off. Very nice angle, open for him to play. Doesn't want to go too far out toward Ruins to peek because that leaves him susceptible to being spotted from CT spawn, and that's where Fitch enters back in, 2 on the UMP.
It was looking exciting for a moment there. I actually liked that setup in the 3 versus 2. If he had extended a little bit further out and took down James with the AWP, they could have both focused on CT there. But caught out by the flashbangs. Excellent retake once again from Avangar towards B. Comes right down to the wire, but they win the round and take the lead 3-2. Look at the scoreboard. It's Buster at the top, of course. With that ace, he's at 6-3. James, a little bit slower start by his standards, but he's still 4-3, still contributing. This was a shot you were so impressed about, and rightly so. Tiniest of gaps, and he finds the headshot at the back there, enables him to plant, but still not enough to find the round. That was their partial buy, though. Not expected to win those. Scores as much damage as you can. They get 3 kills on a bomb plant, so that's fine. This is a CT-sided map. You can see somebody there yet to frag. The very early days there. We're only going to the 6th round. Org, Zappa, Kurt, and Crizzen. Timeout now for Tyloo as they work out their play. Are they going to bring an AWP out on the T side? They absolutely are. Excurate happy to use it. It's a challenging map to be super effective with the AWP. It's very useful in the opening segments that are around in the closing ones. Once that bomb planted, you get that AWP set up, or whether in pit or the back of the B-bomb site. That can be round. It can be round winning plays, but mid-rounds, it can be very difficult when you're smoked out. Molotovs are coming in to even get a position where you can make the AWP effective. We'll see what happens here. Where does James go at the very start this time? Likes to play up towards B sometimes. Actually solo towards middle. As his teammates showing so much presence at B at the start. 4 players there. I'll rotate back. And it's a very slow default round from Tyloo.
Couple of shots from kicker down, Banana. Summer rotates back through all mid. Attacker's already secured inside a boiler. Meanwhile, back over toward B at Banana. It's kicker this time alone. Not James AWP. And an information play. So jumping He wants to spot them as early as possible without leaving himself as a target, because already that secondary player has rotated past the archway, which is a long way back. Something they may want to consider now as well, considering they have no information toward mid-wall and haven't seen or heard anything at this point in time. I think they're slowly getting that feeling as James gets positioned closer and closer. Kicker's got to smoke this off and at least buy time.
That's the most powerful thing about this whole play. 30 seconds on the clock. He's just dropped the smoke now. They would be silly to run through that, but the time is actually not on their side. They might have to. Molotov's going down. I think they're just going to have to go for it. Luckily, it's just Kicker there. I say that. He's mowing them down with the Orc there. 3 kills on a solo B anchor. That's incredible.
Very incredible. That's a passive solo anchor as well. He did that with utility, he did that tactically, and he did it with time. That's almost Crims-esque, being super efficient, fall back, stay alive, do your job, and that is it. Don't ask too much of him, don't ask to be a hero, don't re-peek, don't try and win the fight in Banana. Very well done. Bomb still goes down. It's not done yet despite the effort, because somebody's done a massive amount of damage to both James and Krizen. And despite that the advantage on men stays on Avangar's side, the timing is not, and somebody, an accurate shutdown CT. James got to bail 7 HP. He's got to get beyond here even to get away from this bomb, and they're going to catch him doing it. Gets the first shot. Execute's also on the op. He missed the chance to take him.
It was to lock him in the side now. Make sure he goes down. He'll get the kill. So that's a victory in its own right. The fact he takes all 5 down, considering the round slipped out of their grasp. You see the money will be very low on this T side now. They've got enough for AKs only. That orb's not a possibility. Kicker's got to be gutted, though. He has a solo B hold. He gives 3 kills at the start, and it still goes wrong. But it was just that damage towards Ruins, I think, was the turning point.
Interesting decision as well, because he went toward Emo, and that's a bit fortunate, because if he'd fall into new box like most people do in that situation, they Molotov'd it.
Yep, and
everything went right for him.
You can actually Molotov Emo as well, so he was fortunate. They went for new boxes instead of that position. You have to jump on the half wall, and then you can Molotov towards the back right of the bomb site. They do not buy up into this. You can see the money actually not too great for them. It's up to James with the AWP. Looks towards the underpass, a chance of a shot there, and he'll probably hightail it back towards the B bomb site. Now he's shown presence towards middle, trying to funnel them into positions where he can rotate too quickly. They'll be thinking the orbs towards middle, and that's a great play from Fitch. Doesn't want that gun, wants to maintain the advantage here. PT-50 at close range can be deadly, as you just saw. Someone's gone down. Has Fitch got anything left in the tank here?
P250 only up close. He's going to have to swing and be very, very remarkable.
Because
pant lag showing on either side.
Yep.
Yeah, get away from that one. Once the AK knows you're there, you can't really strike for the one tap and surprise him with the P250. Meanwhile, again, it's a utility battle, but it's James to anchor. He has support this time.
They've faked very softly towards B. They've dropped a smoke towards CT spawn, and they're going to make their way towards middle. It's kept James on that side of the map at least, but he is rotating over. CTs have a very narrow chance of winning this. It's all down to James, whether he's part of this fight. He absolutely is now, but Ben Ted takes him down with a lovely headshot there. Tyloo will surely bring this one back now. The fact the orb's been removed.
Bintet shows off why he's so highly rated. His stats are so consistent as he finds Kickert as well. He found Krizen. He's got 3 in this round. And there's only one left to get, and that's Buster. AWP was down toward Library. He might consider that, if nothing else, on this Deagle, because he has no armor, has no kit, and the bomb is planted for Tyloo. He's still trying it. Smoke flash, even checks to see if they're flanking him. Surprised he's going to rotate. I think he's going to take a right now. Get the op. That's got to be the call. At least get away with that weapon at this point in time. Surprisingly, it's only 3-3. These are much slower rounds than what we saw in Cash. This feels like it's been going forever already, but we're just getting started. And back and forth, both teams showing signs of knowledge to the map and to each other, I would say.
Yeah, it really is interesting to watch. Buster does recover the orb, just to note. They actually had a very good chance of winning that. James was in position. He was ready for the pick of Library, but missed the shot, but Ben Ted certainly didn't. He gets 3 in total, and yes, his individual skill and aim specifically is just off the charts at times and very difficult to contain. When you have an advantage, he can turn the tides very, very quickly indeed. There he is in your screens right now. I would say regarded as the best player from the region, like in terms of impact, potentially. But there it is. Tyloo take the lead now, 4-3. Money's unstable. Remember, that was an eco from Avangar. They had one AWP and P250s managed to get it right down to the wire there. It's another healthy round for them, but they are trading. Here's Bente. That was the shot that really did the damage there. And at that point, it's all about us trading out, making sure that Deagle couldn't snowball. And that was shut down very quickly. Ops out for Jame, but as we said, they like a tactical time of this squad, so just discussing their options.
Surprisingly, this is the first one used. Start of the 8th round, 7 rounds in. Both these teams very much do. Op, Og, M4, M4. Mac 10 for somebody. Molotov already down toward the barrels this time, so they won't allow James, well, potentially James AWP. It was a good flash by the observer to show that it's over toward A, but to get in that position to anchor it off, deep Molotovs, not as much utility really used for this position as we see from, again, we mentioned it all the time, Astralis, but most of the tier 1 teams at this point in time. Finally, we're seeing that aggression to get deep for Avangar rather than just holding the one-man for rotation toward A.
Well, presumably they set it up in a similar fashion where they can feel they're comfortable full banana control of a couple of players packing. That's exactly what's happened in the apartments, at least. Krisen and Jame attack at the same time, and Fitch has got right down towards the bottom of Banana. That should be a cue for a player to fall back, and Kicker has, but they've got such a lead here. I didn't think that was about to happen. Mac 10.
But yeah, best weapon you could have had for that. Just jumps around, mows him apart. And they had him down there, Fitch, but the setup should have been to have Buster try and at least support that trade or get aggro, and he'd already backed off to the site. And they hadn't even fully committed to rotating Kiekert, so at least he's in ruins. But it wasn't like they really had an objective by having Fitch down there.
The old bait and switch, but for now, Tyloo can actually pull this one back. They might even go for just a contact play here. They have no smoke for the cross, Matt, so they have to wait on this player and spawn. That's going to be Bentep. He can do absolutely everything. Lovely picture-in-picture there to demonstrate his pincer maneuver now. They're waiting for him to cause damage before they make their move towards CT. Now the fact he's there, they can cross over safely. That's confirmed. Pickard, though, once again, so aware of the situation, and Buster mows him down. That was actually very well done from Avangar. A nice idea from Tyloo. I liked what they did there. Like I said, no smoke the cross. They need to rely on Bentec getting all the way through spawn. That's now failed twice for them. He did get the information CT's clear. You can cross over, but they're so focused on the bomb side at that point. Kick up, aware of the possibility. Takes down the flanking player in the form of Bentec. Buster continuing that strong form on that B bomb side. 2 more kills for him. Denies the plant and presumably leads to an eco here. Now that double setup towards apartments is so touch and go. It can either be fantastic like that, or it can go horribly wrong, and normally both CTs go down. I'm not a huge fan of it, but when it works, it looks very good.
James just trying to peek down toward the T-stairs. Couldn't do anything with it, so it's all pistols. Second time we've seen Tyloo do this, by the way, with pistols. Just sit back T-stairs and hope that someone's going to push into them. Also baits out a little bit of utility just on time alone. Not sure if that's something they've scouted against Avangar. There hasn't exactly been much aggression. Fitch down toward the bottom. Banana's the only one of note. That's Kiekert back in that position this time. He's going to trade off with Buster. It's the only information they have so far is spotting that flash. They've seen nothing else from Tyloo at this point.
What can Tyloo do here? I assume smoke library, maybe go apartments, something like that. They've not even got a flash for this one. But they are incredibly good with these deagles. All of a sudden, they can turn the round on his head. All it takes is 1 kill. So they will drop a smoke, but they receive a grenade at the same time. There's the 1 deag. And it will give them a rifle at least. Fitch will go down, and now it's up to Krisen to deliver multi-frags here, and he can't do it. It's getting a little bit awkward now. James doesn't know where they are exactly. He spots another one drop down, but this could actually fall apart. But kick up. At least keep the dream alive for Avangar here. They do not want to lose to just pistols here. They have the advantage for now. Nothing's been recovered.
Oh, I thought that was going to hit.
I thought so as well, but it doesn't look like Excurate can really finish this one off. It's the pistol there, close range, to find the victory for Avangar. But we talked about the 1 deags, the opening frag of the round, of course. 1 bullet straight to the dome of Fitch. And they managed to get a plant out of it. So still 3 players alive for the CT side. They're going to maintain their lead as well. There you go, 5 and 4 now. Bomb planted. Avangar will be up against the full buy of Tyloo. No AWP for Excurate this time. Not necessarily required on the T side. But the timeout comes in. This time for Avangar. They're first. Now, CTs do have options for aggression on Banana. and towards middle. They can actually do a Jane play towards second middle and go for a pick here. They want to mix things up completely, just as Tyloo might be changing their approach. Be interested to see if they want to try anything a little bit more audacious like that. We will see. There's Kickert on your screen. And a great fragger throughout this tournament so far. Influential in their victories in the minor as well. And Bentet. His stats currently sat on, let's have a look. If you move your arm, there we go.
I'm sorry. My arm's a little bigger now.
7 and 6.
Gym, okay?
Yeah, man, it's huge. That was the
Still in
problem.
your way.
I need you to get skinnier so I can see the screen.
Why, you calling me fat now?
No, just swole.
Patrol.
Exactly. Well, they're not going to be pushing middle, but they are sending 4 towards B at the start. And you see that damage done as well. They're going to challenge us any further. Those 2 CTs just come along to deploy the utility to start and leave these 2 players actually play the bomb site with enough to fight. As the grenades keep coming through, a double kill through the smoke. You love to see that.
Yeah, they literally jumped the opposite direction and get caught in the apex by 1 bullet. Not quite 1 bullet, but pretty much. Impressive stuff to get the start for Kickert. Certainly is a kick to Tyloo. Summer has to go back out toward Banana at this point in time. You mentioned Bintet's stats, not only just in this, I think now he's third because Simple's, believe it or not, last week, for those of you who don't know, last week in London, even though it was a smaller event, Simple's stats and that alone meant that he surpassed Zontaras after years of Zontaras being at the top to be the highest rated player on HLTV. That is even more impressive when you consider that Zontaras for a long time was playing against Tier 2 opposition. Simple's been playing Tier 1 for much longer and still was increasing. But behind them in third was Bintet. I'm not sure if he's still there. I think he is. He's been pretty high up for a long period of time. Similarly, he's playing against most of the Asian region, but still impressive. It says the individual skill is certainly there. As Bintet, speak of, takes down Fitch, but Buster and Kickert have the crossfire in place. Avangar's going to find number 6. And just a note for Zontaras, we're about to see him in Tier 1 a lot more, it seems, now that he's on big.
I'm very excited for that prospect. I feel that's a great signing by them, and we'll see whether they can perform. He is, for me, one of the most talented riflers in the game, and it's an exciting prospect. They're big, have got some firepower available to them now. We'll see how that goes. But speaking of firepower, Kickert's got down buckets and spade, it seems. That shot, or a couple of shots towards B through the smoke after doing so much damage to utility works out perfectly for them. And will be another recap for Tyloo. That run boost is looking so deadly. Jame won't have nothing to shoot at just yet, but that nade should do some nice damage. Not as much as you'd think, considering Land is so close to Summer with no armor, but the follow-up shot will do it. Takes him down, no problem at all. No 1D for you this time, my friend. And James still more than happy to sit in this position. He's got no one with him. He goes down. It could be a little bit dicey, but falls back to a more defensive line. The Eagles looking for anything they can find here. They've got a couple of flashes to assist them, but it looks like they head back towards B at this point.
And at B, it's once again going to be a solo hold toward the top side of Banana. Buster is there. He's jumping around. Busting a move.
They love putting the solo player on the B bomb site. Don't really need that right now. You've confirmed they're on pistols. You have the man advantage. At least have 2 players on the B side just to make sure this is safe. They've actually got them both in coffins. I like that. And now the flash will come through. Buster takes the aggro away for his teammate. He plays the off angle, and he'll start to spray them down there. Really nice work. There should be no bomb plant here, or even a kill potentially. I think the last player's in ruins. And Buster more than ready to take him down once again. He's having a great game on that B bomb site. Managed to get an ace before and keeps providing frags ever since. He had a slow start, but now looking like he's firing on all cylinders. That was another eco for Tyloo. 7-4. You're just joining us. This is the 2-1 game in the Swiss format. And it was Avangar, who didn't look that tactically efficient on Cash, but their firepower was certainly there. They managed to win that first map, and now we're on the pick of Tyloo, who I have to say don't look their usual selves in this T side right now. They won the pistol map. That's pretty much it.
It's absolutely true. But it's Inferno. We know how solid they can be on the map on the CT side as well. And oh, look at these Molotovs. Now we're seeing the utility gameplay. That nade is going to do massive damage. Somebody's got to go down here, surely. 4 HP. Somehow he's still alive behind the wall. But on top of that, you got Bintet, an attacker, severely injured in the exchange as well. The CT side's very good for Tyloo. So the fact that they're at 4, if they can get 5-6, definitely a game still.
Oh, absolutely. So much damage taken there at the start there. Avangar have got that procedure of getting banana control under wraps. That's great. So much damage taken and not much received. Looks like another default will ensue here. James this time playing the quad position. You'll see him change his position up almost every single round. A little bit of nade damage there. Still chipping away at Tyloo. No kills found just yet. I'm sure that will change any second now. Detecting that mid presence, it will be James to hold a pretty standard angle. Waiting to see if anyone will dare challenge him. They've got mid control now. They can fall back towards B. It's all about taking vision away from the counter-terrorists as they smoke up towards Library. James will hold them off and they focus towards the arch. They've got the bomb still top and middle, so B's not really an option. There's only 2 CTs here on the A side, but this one's pretty strong with that old AWP as he keeps hitting shot after shot.
It's been a while since we've seen him go off and around. He's got 2 this time, and Crizzen can equal that total. Do the math. Attacker's all that's left. He's going to attack toward Crizzen, but that leaves him wide open for Fitch as he wraps back in. From the front of Library, doubling the score 8-4 in favor of Avangar. Round 13 about to begin. I mentioned Jamie's got 13 kills on the CT side. Kickert's been the most impressive, I think, overall, just based on his efficiency at B, and that's reflected in the fact he has 15.
Well, that B bomb side seems shut down for access whatsoever. You got Kicker and Buster there, both posting big numbers. Kicker on 15, Buster on 12. They are destroying that side of the map. And like I said, that was essentially a 5-on-2 because we only had 2 players on the side. That was James and Crizzen then. They both find multiple frags. They deny the plan. That shouldn't really be happening. Tyloo had such a huge advantage there, and they had that mid control early on. That was an execution, but James, he really is waking up now. Relatively quiet game on Cash, but this is why I love to watch him play. Very good at hitting the very important shots. 8-4 now. They'll be winning the half, and Tyloo down to pistols again, but don't let that fool you. They can certainly do damage with them, but somebody and someone need to pull their socks up. 3-12 and 3-11 respectively. Round 13. Plenty of timeouts used now. CZ's across the board. Smoke's there as well. Presumably try and set piece towards A and burst out the apartments of flashbangs. We'll see if that comes into fruition.
Execute already underneath, looking to rotate back over toward alt middle, join his teammates. They're all going to take that approach, in fact, toward the apartments with the pistols, rather than being very passive and waiting down toward T-stairs, as we talked about. Smoke as well. That looks like it's going to go over toward the pit side. 4 smokes. They can create the wall, try and isolate pit, but no one's inside of it. The one round they actually stacked up toward Banana and played very defensively inside of A. Crizzen's already out of there, so they've gained very little from this.
Well, this is what we expected. The smokes and the flashes out the apartments, but now what do? Because you got no kills. That's all the utility gone, and the CTs know you're there.
The one last smoke did just go out in front of Library, so they still have a chance to try and isolate Crizzen, but they've got to be very swift about it. They are. Good timing to peek out from the far right by Excurate. Bomb's going to go down as well. Smoke still in place, just back toward quad. That's where Fitch has arrived at, but can't see through. Molotov to Pity knows one's inside of it. He'll swing. He's going to go alone again. Self-flashing into position. Only gets one. Bintet and somebody traded back. Kicker. Again, we talked about how impressive he's been. He's going to have to be very impressive at this point in time as well, because it is the man advantage to Tyloo. As the bomb continues to tick, he takes damage, completely surrounded. Triangle of Doom, you've coined that. And James out of there. That's well done from Tyloo.
I think we called it the trifecta of Doom.
You're right. Look, it was your phrase, not mine.
But there we go. There it is. Tyloo actually with their first quite convincing round in Inferno, I have to say. It's down to those CZs, smokes, and I wasn't sure what they were going to do with that particular set. They get to the pin, and like, what do they do now? The thing is, though, the CT, the one of the remaining on the A side, he right-clicked his smoke in front of the bomb side, actually ends up helping out Tyloo quite tremendously in that post plan. They actually took vision away. That's the smoke. He just saw it fly by and actually allowed them to get in position towards the pit and fall back. And close range, those CZs do a lot of damage there. And Kick-Up couldn't do anything about this. They weren't giving him any opportunities. It's a CZ and a nice wall of smokes towards the pit. That actually gains some access towards the site, and it's now a double orb setup for the CTs for the first time. Crizzen laid down towards middle. Does connect, but doesn't do a ton of damage. That shot does, though. James finding yet another opening kill. Excurate, top middle, sniper in hand, focusing towards quad. And he might actually get a kill off this, but the flash will come first. Flash over. He'll probably pull the trigger blind.
Oh, my.
Doesn't matter.
Wow. Fitch just absolutely walked out. Talk about solo pushing. That time he had a perfect team flash.
Yeah, doesn't get much better than that. That's an alley-oop for sure. Teammate goes, I'm flashing middle. Do you want to peek this? 2 blind players in front of you. No problem at all. He had like 3 seconds to kill them.
And now it's down to just Bintet and Summer. Let's make it potentially a 9th round for Avangar if they can't pull off some sort of miracle. Smoke's going to go down our side as well.
Round 14 as well. This would be a reset, so they would have next to nothing. They might be better off to saving these 2 AKs here, but you have got Attacker on 5k, I guess. Summer survives with the AK. He can drop another one. They just need to save these AKs. You're not going to win this round. Both have to survive. And then Summer can drop.
The weird thing is that I'm going to point out, now they're probably going to save. You're right. That has to be the goal. If they do go B, it's again the 4-man rotation from Avangar. They're really putting a lot of confidence on James. AWP, if he gets killed here, still no one's in rotation.
Why? It's a 5-on-2.
Yeah, that makes no sense. At 3-2 split, you have at very least a 2-on-2 situation on one bomb site. If they get a bomb down here and don't get a kill off, or if James dies before they rotate, this is still winnable from Tyloo, excuse me. I don't think it's going to happen. James realized the situation and backed well out of the equation. Bomb plant matters, though. It's denied. That would have been money given and adding to the already 4850 and 4,000 now for Summer.
Well, if they kill him after the time hit, that's the best play they could go for. Push in. They've got about 2 more seconds till they get him. So now he can't drop a weapon. There is still enough for somewhat of a biasy attack. He might have to drop Galil's at this point with 6k there, but that was very dicey. James actually misses that first shot. He gets flashed off. If you're ever in a 5-on-2, you do not need a 4-man stack towards A. You just need to keep it standard.
Yeah, I don't know why you do that.
2, at least have someone in transition who can back James up. But
the one thing I want to criticize about the 4-man stack as well, it would be fine considering you knew there was a commitment toward quad if you had someone at least peeking mid-wall.
Sure.
If you're all going to be that passive with no information, I don't know why you do it.
Ooh,
this is clever. Would have been very clever considering the positioning, the fact that they were still on top of the T-stairs, but it's not going to work out. Someday, James is going to hit one of these run boosts we've seen.
yeah, he's given it a few goes on Cash. He's done that 3 times on the CT side. That smoke does not look ideal. I think there's a gap in that one. It looks like it's hugging the wall, but maybe I'm wrong. Looks like it's okay. Not ideal, but it will do the job. They'll push through it. Flashes now, as James holds the library, needs to be aware they're so close towards that library position, which certainly is. And he had 8 kills before this round, now up to 10. It looks like it is going to be a 10-5 half. Execura, nothing to do here, map. Galil on hand, 5 versus 1. Padding stand to this point, I'm afraid, as he'll wait for mistakes to be made.
Execure will indeed. Just hope for the best, really. A positive man. Nearly did read it. Well, he did read it. Just nearly got the shot as well on James as he snapped back toward the corner, but it is 10-5 at half for Avangar. Good position to put themselves in. This is winnable. They've got the first map already in hand. It is Tyloo's map choice. Limiting them to 5 it's going to be a job, but it's possible.
It's an exciting prospect for Avangar. Can they continue this form, and can Tyloo wake up? Their map pick, and it's falling apart. We'll take a break and be back with the second half.
136 ADR and 17 kills for Kickert. He leads the way. Everyone in double digits with the exception of Kristen on the Avangar side. They lead 10-5. On the opposing side of Tyloo, no one broke in more than 9 kills. No one hit double digits. They start now on their CT side. It's their map choice. Let's see if they can pull this back because this series is over if they don't.
They won the pistol in the first half. Going to have to replicate that again. They're going for a bit of aggression towards B. It was Avangar that pushed down middle before, but it looks like somebody's absolutely done for here. Easy shot, and it will be Buster to pick it up. They can just slow things right down now. See what the reaction is. See what's coming through. It's Bentet with a headshot towards B. Somehow takes down Fitch. I think he was aggressive as usual, alone, taken down by the USB. Maybe a little bit too carried away with his performance. Bentet finds him. That's a solo peek with a Glock against USP when you've got the advantage. Not something I'd recommend, but they're going to go with the execution here in the 4-4. All the Molotovs as well. They're really going for this. You can see Penta trying to play up the new box, even though the flames are there. He has nowhere to fall back to, and they'll pay the price. Summer needs to hit these shots, and nothing lands at all. That should be round Avangar as the bomb's planted. It's now up to Attacker, and indeed Execura, and Buster tears them apart. 4 kills in total. What a game he's having, man. He's not top fragging. He's just behind Kickert at 16. But still, that's some really important frags for him. Confident shots, and even after they gave that trade away, they managed to execute very efficiently then. You can see Bente, his objective, play the new boxes where they think it's going to be clear, but he has no position to fall back to. The flames are down. So even then, he has to hit multiple shots, and it didn't happen for him. Buster just hits absolutely everything here. How calm is this? Ready for the second kill, takes him out of the equation, and it's the force fight. They have to do this side. They need this round to win, and we'll see if it can work out for them. Molotov will do a little bit of damage and deny them any sort of access towards the banana right now. Kick up, takes full control. Nade towards CT spawn. Should do damage if he throws it in now, just a little bit. He'll smoke in and see if that provokes a reaction, and they got one. Those deagles are deadly. Tyloo seem to be very proficient with them. 5 versus 4.
So 3 already at the top side of middle. A 4th to join in, but excellent. Cracking open shot by Excurit.
Yeah. 1 bullet. And they're going to go through spawn. They might just do a 4-man unit towards the B sites, but opting to wrap round. A couple of rifles is where you want to be. You know, those CZs can't really do much damage at that sort of range. They got the drop smokes. It actually helps the T's out. They're going to get on the bomb site and get a plan out of this. As Attacker will push through. He's trying to get towards Graveyard, I believe. CTs will have to do something remarkable at this point. They've been absolutely outmaneuvered. And MP9 recovered, but the frag's still going in favor of Avangar. This is a nice play, though. Somebody is causing damage. Up to Bentep. Close range of the Mac 10. Needs kills. And Buster again. How does he keep doing it?
Clever from Bentet. He knew he could only use strafe at that point in time. A step forward or a step backwards beyond the pillar, he was dead from Graveyard, so he had to take the one-on-one duel. But you're right, Buster absolutely nails it from behind the box. Kickert up to 19 kills now, just a note, but it's Avangar with the 2 rounds to start it off. Now just 4 rounds to go and a 7-round lead. Imagine it'll get much closer before we're finished, but they'll take full advantage of this. 2 timeouts remaining either side as we get another one called for Tyloo.
Really good calm call as well there. That's the perfect way to approach that situation. You've confirmed they're on a force buy. It's gone down to a 5 versus 4. You've got rifles. They certainly don't. They've got CZs and Deagles. They wrap on Arch. They confirm the library is clear, and indeed the Arch itself, and then smoking off towards the pair. Like I said, I think the CT's panicking and dropping the smokes actually assisted Avangar getting towards the side, getting that bomb down and established as they wait for rotations. They hit all the shots. Yes, it comes right down to the wire, but remember, that's a force buy. As long as Avangar win the round, they've guaranteed an eco here, a full eco at that. So this is 13-5, pretty much guaranteed, and they can bring out some Mac 10s and be in touching distance at the next stage of the major. One more map will do it. It's going to be 13-5 in their favor. Excurit setting up a flashbang. We talked about alley-oops earlier. There's one player there who should be taken down. The flashbang will be pretty decent, and I'm sure they'll pounce on him. Actually not. So you hear all the footsteps at this point, and he takes a dink, but Krisen's still alive.
The shot on somebody as well, not just alive, but very much a factor. Bentet dropped by Fitch. So just pistols again for Tyloo, but the aggression didn't work to catch them off. Couldn't even find the opening pick this time around, and that's going to build up a little bit for Avangar. 3 AKs already. They can afford to let Curzon die, but James, the one that wants to go for the fight, and AWP player, I imagine he'll want to use that on the T side. He just gets an extra little bonus for his kill.
So, with that force buy in the second round and the full eco, there's still money there. There's going to be AWPs and everything like that, but with 2 Mac 10s, do they want to keep hold of those and go for something very quick here? They've actually thrown a Mac 10 away. So James will be staying on the Mac 10 with Deagle in his back pocket as well, but they feel like they want to try and close this up right now. They've got rid of all the Mac 10s. Okay, you don't normally see that in these sort of rounds, but they would have actually been very powerful. There's 4 players with our helmets. I'd say keep the Mac 10s, but fair enough, they want to focus on just getting that round on the board and giving themselves the maximum chance of winning the round instead of keeping the money strong.
And not, just winning the round, but even if you could justify winning the next one, it's the momentum factor of that as well. You guarantee yourself a better chance this time, but you just want to win them all. Let's go. Keep it rolling, boys. Muster backs away. Nades go down into Banana. 4 players there. Not a strong contest from Tyloo to try and hold on to it. Defensive utility. They've got 2 nades left, 2 smokes left to work with. As one more goes out already, and T-side flash tries to go through it toward the B site, but they have nothing that's going to distill them from being in Banana, and James even considering watching the flank.
Well, 5 players at the mouth of the B bomb site here. CT's rotating and they detected at least. Excurate with the AWP. No smoke to challenge him right now, but he's going to peek off this. Hit the shot, times it to perfection there. Somebody comes through and gives the frag up. Now the AWP has to rotate. You can see the smoke down in Coffins. He can't really push through that. No way. Ben10 needs 2 kills here at least. Gets nothing. Excurate, they know exactly where he is. And as Fitch displays, it'll take him down through the smoke, and Summer's been tagged up as well. It's going to be 14-5. Avangar, after losing the first pick, absolutely brilliantly done there. The smoke's down, making the AWP redundant as it rotated through the ruins there. Couldn't do anything, and Fitch took care of that. Like we said, they were aware. He was in that position, he fired off a Hail Mary shot. Fitch, in return, will take off his head. And they are looking very good. Yet to really drop anything in the second half. Summer to save the M4, but you can see the hunters on. Kickert isn't wasting any time as he makes his way through. Player at Graveyard. Oh my goodness, what a shot that is. Now they know he's in Graveyard. No chance you're surviving, my friend. They are just ruthless right now. This is the best looking Avangar we've seen all tournament in this best of 3.
By far. By far, we've touched on it time and time again that they always have potential to be an upset team. I did actually, and right at the start of the pre-show for the entire event, I said that they're my dark horse within this stage, and they're showing us exactly why now, as they could advance with just 2 more rounds.
So what do you do now if you're Tyloo? They're going to buy. You can see the bottom right of your screen. Exeter has gone for the FAMAS straight away. That's all they can really do. They can either go UMP or FAMAS. They go M4, they have no armor, no nades. They can bring a scouts out, CZs, pistols, and we'll see which way they're inclined as they take this timeout once again. They have 1 remaining after this. Such a difficult position to be in. If you don't buy here, they're going to find series point. If you do, you've got next to nothing. What's the call? Here's the replay of the great shots and good coordination here. That was the kill that really solidified the round when Bentec goes down with nothing. And Fitch finds the AWP through the smoke as well. You do like to see that. And still, in the timeout, working out. I can see the buys come through on my screen. They haven't actually committed to anything just yet. Just discussing their options. What's the play? There's no real correct decision there, Matt. This is one of those gut feeling moments. You just go for it. I think you have to, considering the fact you can't recover a 15-5. You're just going to have to go with this and hope you can squeeze the round out and start playing it round by round after that. See Tyloo not looking too enthused about this situation. Rightly so. This is their map pick and they just haven't turned up to it so far.
I don't really see a lot of talking on either side.
This suggests it's technical then.
Yeah, and we've been over 30 seconds, so I'm thinking this might, coaches as well. We might be into a technical period for these timeouts.
Well, Exeter bought the FAMAS, and we saw, he's dropped that, so maybe trying to give a rifle to one of his other players, they get full utility, and they try and make one side of the map very strong, and take a gamble on the other side.
Worthy note, Tyloo taking another attempt at bringing in a Western coach. They obviously had Peacemaker for a period of time.
Yes.
They now have Junta. Junta was behind Flipside for years, and Hellraisers for a bit of time as well, exactly. So he's now joined forces with Tyloo to bring them a little bit more of the meta that's common within the top echelon.
It's a strange one, isn't it? You go from having a Brazilian coach and now a CIS Region 1, I guess it's just to keep up, like you're saying, with the other regions and bring that methodology with it. But here we go. They have not fully invested. They've gone for a UMP, and maybe I guess I didn't see it for Mass. That's not there. It's just the SMG, CZs, and Bentep taken down straight away. Kicker still delivering so much damage here. He finally is removed from the equation by the Flames, but still a 4 versus 3. Summer with the SMG, and they've got one smoke to play with here.
Buster still down inside of the cubby position. UMP up close. They're already down a man, and Summers tagged on 55. He's the only one left with a rapid fire. Well, okay, all right. Technicality. He's the only one left with anything other than a pistol. CZ, sure, you can hold mouse 1. An automatic weapon. Someone will call me out on the terms too, right? Technicalities all across the board. Technically, Buster burned Summer alive, but that was due to the fact that he got the few damage shots in from the AK-47 first. Execute up close, deagle in hand, but not ready to find the headshot. Buster's got that as well, and it's going to be just attacker to try and deny overtime point. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think you might be over to something there. We'll see. Attack up with the CZ in hand. And you can see Avangar not taking any chances here. They're going to let Buster just say, I'm going to walk into B. If I find him, just go A. Let's get that information first. And now they've confirmed he's top middle. That bomb should just hightail it towards the B-bomb side. Doesn't even matter at this point. Jane will take him down 15-5. That should be GG. I just don't see a world where they get 10 rounds in a row just to take us to overtime. It's certainly a good Inferno team, but the level I've seen on this particular map today, this is not Tyloo that we've seen throughout this tournament. This is them having an off day and really struggling against incredibly strong Avangar. You can see kick up, just hitting absolutely everything. The spray control. This tag team combo of him and Buster has been remarkable. We throw Jame in the mix as well. It's a deadly, potent recipe as they might just go for the B rush here, Matt.
Bounce Molotov toward the bags, but around the corner, it's not that direction they have to look. It's directly toward the site. Bintech gets Buster down, and Kickert aware of the fact that he's likely to be Molotov, given they lost the top of Banana. Already had the smoke ready, but the nades follow up. He's gone as well. Good start this time from Tyloo with the weapons out. That makes it a 5-on-3. They have to really reposition at this point in time as well. Give up the fact they lost Banana. Try and get toward A, and who else to do it other than Fitch? He's loved the duels, confidently loved the duels so far this series. Hasn't had quite the same effect this time, Bob, but he's on 15 kills. Nothing to slouch at. Do consider going back, so they lure them into the thought of going back over toward A, and then aggression goes back toward Bintep, but they stay alive. That's the key. Stay alive, that's all you have to do at this point. 5-on-2 now. Don't give anything at all. Tease. So it looks like at least another round.
At least.
Massive amount of money, that mind you, for Avangar. So
Yeah.
Tyloo still has to survive all of that before they can take a deep breath and really focus in on the overtime.
Yeah, we can't really discuss about any chance of a comeback until we get to double digits, really. Tyloo have got so much work to do here, but this is the start. A confident round. Still might not be done just yet, but that should do it. Jay now left of it all to do in the 5 versus 1. Surely be taken down momentarily. There it is. 10 seconds remaining, and the job is done. Tyloo get their 6th. Just 9 now. But so much work to do. One mistake will cost him this berth straight away into the next stage of the tournament. Let's say Avangar have got it, but like you said, plenty of money. They will buy up again. No Orb and Jame. They'll focus on the AKs. Full utility, of course. Zach Europe taking down Fitch, who just seems to love those solo peaks or any utility. Fair enough to him. He is hitting almost every shot today. It would make me uncomfortable as an in-game leader, but here's X-Grip. Blinded, taking damage, but does get out alive. Nade will just do a little bit of follow-up damage there. They've got 3 players at B at the start. Chad was breaking that one down. They'll get him there at the very beginning on the Tyloo side and then rotate back as they aim to get Banana control. Actually shoved back towards the side, so not a successful little gambit there. And it will be back to the default for Avangar. They're actually going to be focusing on that mid-control. Flashbang comes through with the smoke down towards Arch. It's somebody who's got to step up here. The smoke will dissipate momentarily. Can he find multiple frags here? As he knows there's footsteps and players on the other side. It's the first kill for Attacker. And he'll smoke himself preemptively, knowing the Molotov's coming his way.
Good push through the smoke by somebody. Times it so well. He's got 3. And Summer adds with 1 on Fitch. It's now 15-7. 2 rounds in a row for Tyloo. Money still there, though, on the Avangar side. And the problem with that is T-side. That's now 2 rounds built up, meaning that the bonus is going to hit a 3rd round. Bomb plants included. They're going to be buying for days.
Well, definitely this round, at least. Kicker has purchased the AWP. Either he's got a very good spawn or he's dropping it for Jame. I assume it's the latter. And indeed, he'll throw it over to the sniper. Kicker 22 kills. Jame also 22. As they look to close this one out, they give up a couple of rounds, but still a buy here. Timeout for Avangar just to work out how they can cement their chances here. I think there's one compromise. We've got Fitch, who's just got a CZ right now. He's died 12 times. That's the most in the team, but like he said, his playstyle, that does make sense. No one really fragging hard on Tyloo's side. Very top of the board at 12. Excurate has hit some decent shots. Doesn't fully commit towards the underpass. Looking towards second middle right now. He will be flashed off. It's not a pick you'll usually be granted.
No such luck for Excurate to find the fast flick at mid. Somebody forward of the wall. Flash in. He's ready to pounce, but seemingly that's just to get him back to safety, and that's probably the better decision at this point in time. You can't really afford to take risky mistakes. Risky peeks.
Bomb still down at T-spawn. Just establishing control. Oh, that's a kill for sure. Yeah, Buster. He will capitalize upon the mistake there. Excurate trying to get intel. Very wide and open angle. And Bente once again left with the arduous process of finding multiple kills. He couldn't do it before. One more round against them. Brings the series over, and Buster still causing chaos here. Just trying to bait out the remaining utility from the CTs. They've got 45 seconds, so they know there's probably another smoke. Somebody will at least recover the AWP. Great shot. Nice move. You can see Avangar looking a lot more tentative now. No one wants to be the one to be the first at the bomb site. They're trying to wait and hope mistakes are made here. 30 seconds. I feel like the CTs might have this one. They rotate back towards middle. They have a strong setup on the side. You can see Attacker watching quad, his teammate in the pit, watching the arch side. And with the time remaining, this could get very uncomfortable. If they hit this shot on Summer, though, it should be done. It's up to Attacker first, and you can see they're actually panicking a little bit now. Not together, the timing slightly off. 9 seconds. I don't think Crizzen can do much with this. Getting a bit cagey now, Avangar, and that's going to be an eco for them as well. Tyloo holding on after losing the first kill.
Yeah, lack of bomb plant confirms the fact that it's definitely an eco. That does get us to 9. We're not quite double digits, but I'm going to flirt with the idea that Tyloo, this being their map choice and how good they are on it, can still make this happen. Just need that little bit of confidence to brew inside of them. There's still 1 timeout left over for Avangar, so they could elect to use that in the next gun round. I would probably suggest save that until the gun round. Just swallow this one. You still got a little bit of time to work with.
Like we said, double digits when it gets a little bit worrying for you, just in the mental aspects. You can see their play style changing. It can be one of the most difficult rounds to pick up, that final one. So much on the line here, so much pressure. No one wants to be the one to make a mistake or that first move. You lose that confidence and just walking into positions and finding headshots, which has worked out so well for them. And maybe you start overthinking these scenarios. You start thinking, right, we just have to do strategies, set piece after set piece, fakes. And sometimes a little bit too much, especially this team has been so loose. And Fitch, again, helping himself to a pick. It's so difficult for me to understand how he's so efficient at just walking into these angles and finding headshots, but it looks like they managed to push them back here and still win the round.
Somebody's getting very confident arch side as well. We've seen him push down there a few times now, notably 2 rounds ago with the 3 kills, but no guns again that time for Avangar. Remember that, so now they bring them back into the equation. 5150 for Jame, but he hasn't purchased yet. Are they going to consider it? You know what I'm thinking?
The glass cannon AWP?
On T-side?
I don't think so.
He still hasn't bought. They're using
worth.
their timeout right now. This is the last timeout for Avangar. I don't think it's worth either But if he's feeling it, sometimes you don't argue with that instinct.
If Excurate was like being super aggressive and facing T-steps and you think, oh, we can get a nice early pick here, that would be worth it. But I feel like 5 AKs will the utility and you just need that one round. Just having a 5-man unit is going to be more beneficial than a Hail Mary Orb, and I think he has gone for the AK-47. So in my opinion, that's the correct decision. He needs to have a full buy instead of compromises. $59. All the timeouts used on the Avangar side, as per tradition, it seems. Oh, a little bit of a fumble there in spawn. Always go right, guys. Like I said, Extra not being super aggressive with AWP, so that's why I didn't think it'd really be worth pulling that out unless you had a real solid read of where he's going to pick. That's the CT's going for that B control. Smoke's down in front of the half wall. Somebody of the AK feeling like he can crack open this portion of the map, and Buster once again through the smoke. I'll open things up. Is this where it all ends?
Fitch backs off. This is Avangar with a lead they've not had in a number of rounds. Need to get something done in terms of information on the Tyloo side as a result of it as well. Can't afford to get caught off. They're going to try and anchor the B site with Excurate's AWP. That'll strengthen A. Certainly brings things back more close to even, because A has more crossfire potential now. Excurate don't dare fire into the wall with a chance at this one. He's going to wait for vision. And Avangar's going to wait for time. Just as we see from CIS teams so commonly, they are going to focus it on to B. There's no question Excurate's about to come under threat, and he can be pushed off the angle. The call that he's seen the utility, tagged as well. Tried to get away, he gets tagged up to 31. Luckily, he was moving when he was, otherwise he would have been a sitting target. But a single Molotov slows down the push. 25 seconds, they still won't back off. The rotation comes back around from Summer. He gets towards CT just now. And Excurate's gone away from Coffin's pillar position with the AWP. That's a decent find for one. Goes to the right for the second. Kicker thought he was safe and his teammate would help him out. James finally gets the shot back now, but it's still a 3-on-3.
There was a gap in the smoke, and that was a chance to deny the plant. Might as well go for it now. I think he's done enough. He has. Summer goes through with 3 seconds remaining. He makes sure there's no chance that bomb goes down. It was such a gamble play, but I think it had to be done. Deny the plant, win the round, and there it is, double digits. Tyloo might be back in this.
The superstitions in the studio are apparent, as I see a few people make themselves comfortable on couches once more in hopes it doesn't necessarily draw this out any longer than it needs to. But for Tyloo, that's fantastic to get that round on the board. Bomb goes down, and that's exactly it. 2-on-2. They had the sight. They just didn't have the time. That's a CIS problem, is it not?
Yes, it certainly is. And Excurate really delivering there. You saw the Molotovs all around him. He got smoked out of coffins, makes the quick decision to move towards the pillar, the only position that wasn't covered in flames or smoke. He hits 2 fantastic shots, buys enough time for his teammates to deny the plant, and it's all done. Really, really good stuff, and crushing for Avangar. That was the one. Yeah, the opening pick for free, a 5-on-4, the execution, but Excurate holds him off initially with the incendiary repositions, and Fitch, he really is delivering on those opening frags. I can't stress enough of how good it looks. It's so loose that it looks like he's playing like a pug right now, just walking into these open positions like, I'm just going to get a frag here, and he nails it pretty much every time.
Somebody still will hold off as well.
So another opening pick, just to know. They had that previously. It was the AWP that shut them down. And now there's a double AWP setup.
Differences this time as well. Yes, okay, opening pick, but they don't have as much firepower to work with. Somebody did take the shot. He gambled this time. Attackers got Kicker down. Last time, they didn't want Excurate to take that shot because he was solo holding and a man down. Somebody has other ideas. He takes it anyway, and the damage done. Still a single-man lurk over on A at Arch. Keep that in mind because Fitch is going to watch to catch rotations. He's loving this lurk role on Avangar, more commonly today than even notably before.
They've gone back towards the A site again. Time running out. They're getting picked off one by one. That's Fitch alone pushing through a smoke. And at the apartments.
That's the one that they rotated back because of. They wanted to, they've read this. Look at the pinch. Look at the play. Already down Banana. They've got the rotate in behind. Somebody was pincering them. They could all comfortably be aware it was going on to the A site, and it's now 15-11.
So Fitch gets the opening pick. He gives the call, they got to rotate back, but he decides to walk through the smoke. He really wanted to guarantee the site was open for them, at least get them information. And he goes down, he doesn't give them enough time to trade there. If he'd have waited maybe, what, like 4 seconds later, they could at least joined him and got a trade out of it maybe. But Tyloo have been so scrappy in these rounds. Great shots, landing time and time again. And they managed to pull another round back.
I see potential in the Fitch lurk, but you're right. In situations where he's no longer off-site, meaning if they stayed on B that time, he can afford to be aggressive and get the kills. If they're coming back to him, he needs to hold up and swallow the fact that he wants to get kills and just say, all right, boys, I'll wait for you.
Exactly.
And then he's really onto something in that role.
Because then they have to focus on him, but instead, they know he's there by himself. They've killed him. They can focus all their efforts towards the ensuing Ts who have 10 seconds remaining on the plant. Now then.
6 rounds in a row for Tyloo, just to note. This started at 15-5, and it is absolutely possible that they can pull this back. Back to pistols once more, just to note as well. Krisen, the only one of the AK-47. Mintet. Oh, he actually looked, considering that could have been a player that snuck through. When he did, that was exactly when they snuck by. Fitch was found by Summer.
He managed to get pretty close to Library. Fair play to him.
I don't even recall seeing this last week from him, being this sly in his approach.
Exactly. He wasn't a standout player in London at all. He was actually quite quiet. That wasn't, though. A dink lands from the AUG. The AK comes out on top.
I'm going to go as far as to say that, okay, yes, he won some duels on Cash. I'll talk over this. Pretty straightforward with 2 pistols left. What's going to happen? This is going to be a 15-12 game. It's not even necessarily that he's still getting enough kills to be like the most impactful or star player. It's the fact that he's just constantly in a position of relevance, and whether it goes good or bad, it kind of hinges on his kill or death.
Well, it seems like that's the only play they're going for right now. Fitch, try and get a pick. We'll see what happens. He's getting those picks, but then they're so cagey. It's the kind of that mentality I discussed before. When you get that 15th round, no one wants to be that guy that makes the loose play and goes in first and causes chaos. Fitch is getting these picks, and they're so slow. And Tyloo are capitalizing upon their mistakes and the fact they run out of utility, and then they try and make their full commitments towards the end. It all seems to drop off. I can't believe a 15-5 game has turned into this. Avangar just need that one round to see them into the next stage of the major. But it might not happen, you know. It actually could fall apart at this point. They're looking like they're really dropping off on their T side.
And imagine if they fall shy, lose map 3. Let's just picture the scenario, lose tomorrow's best of 3. They're 1 round away from making it and don't. Like, okay, they still have a whole other series, worst case scenario, but even still, that's something that'll haunt you for the rest of your days. Somebody takes down Kickert. Buster. We got Bintet. We're sitting 4 aside, and Buster's on 11 HP.
This is aggressive from somebody. He's got the AWP and, gives himself up. He hits it. I knew he was going to as well. The fact he's low HP is just ridiculous. He jumps up, spots it, and gets the wall bang in. And that's what Tyloo are all about.
He is way more aggressive in that position with the AWP than Xcurit.
Yeah.
Xcurit sits back every single time. Somebody's now walled through that twice, this time for a kill. Kill and the man advantage crucially as well. And he's still going to play toward water. Down in the low angle. Nowhere to jump to get away. He's going to have to be perfect in movement. Does do it. Got the shot. Somebody tagged as well through the edge of the wall. Krisen, he's down to 19. This is another round. This is 15-13. Surely it is. 22 seconds? You said it. The panic was ensuing a few rounds ago. Now it's hesitation because they're overthinking this situation severely, and it's now 15-13.
Just get in there. He's fired the AWP shot. Why are you just not holding W and getting the trade at least? What are you hoping to happen there?
No timeouts left for Avangar either, by the way. Keep that in mind. We said that, I think, when it was, 15-8? 15-5, it's now 15-13.
They just need to do it. They must have some set piece plays on towards A. Let's get a wall of smokes on the A-bomb side. Let's get a post-plant situation going. This default, we're getting a pick, but they just don't know what the hell they're doing after that. It all falls apart. They can't handle the aggression, and there's pretty standard positions here, and there's no trade there. Once you're that far gone and the round time is so low, you've just got to go for it. You've got to see whether you can get the trades. You can't just hold up and expect magic to happen. 2 rounds now. I can't believe it. Remember 15-5 was saying, well, just a formality now, just wait for them to close it out, but they're floundering. Then it's going to stay in a 5-man wolf pack now. Keep it simple. Let's just go up together, see if we can tread out these kills. We'll run through flames, and I feel like this extra orb could do damage here. Bentep, like we said, one of the most skilled players in the region, shows us why. Great positioning, good awareness, and it's getting so loose and clumsy now for Avangar. It's the opposite of what they were doing before.
Yeah, absolutely. They run 2 players past the flames, both them focused toward library, not even considering the fact for a flank. 1 kill finally goes their way. Double it up. Krizen's got it, but watch Bintet. They still haven't solved him. Traded. It's on to Krizen. 2 kills and a 1v2 to seal a spot in the legend stage. Spotted as well, dropping back. He knows it, so he'll play off that. He'll slow it down. And it's a 1-on-1.
The CTs are separated though, Matt.
Exactly. No matter which way he goes, it's a 1-on-1, and he's got the shot on attacker. He might just pull this off. He has the ball on his back, and he's got the A site wide open.
It's against the AWP of somebody. I assume he'll find a rifle on his path towards the A side, but this is it. If Krizen can do it, it's going to be a massive sigh of relief for Avangar. That C side has been disappointing ever since they got to round number 15. Grenade is available in the term of a smoke. You can see somebody can drop that on the bomb and make things uncomfortable, but he has the AWP. Is he going to drop that smoke and defuse? I don't know. Krizen knows where he's planted. There's the smoke going down. Does he go for the full defuse? He's going for it. Now the spray has to come in. Can Krizen finish this?
Oh no, he's off it. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Tyloo get 14. Krizen had a chance to lock it up, and even that falls shy.
Oh no. You could see the disappointment. That was his. He thought he got him off it, but he had to commit to that spray. It wasn't deep enough. A smoke and a full defuse. That's going to be gut-wrenching for them. Krizen with a fantastic shot towards library. He had the advantage of the 1v1 against the AWP, and he loses to a full defuse in the smoke in the default plant position. That should have been his kill. It's a pretty easy lineup. Just got to spray in that general direction. He got it wrong. And it all falls apart again. We're 1 round away from overtime.
1 round away, and I think it seems inevitable at this point. It took heroics just to try and even get that far for Krizen. This is the equivalent of having first and goal when you're 1 yard out, and instead of throwing like a nice pass, I don't know football that well, blitz, whatever.
Go on, keep going. I like
whatever. You just continuously say, all right, pick up the ball and just run, and eventually we'll push them back with us. Just keep doing it.
Sure.
Just throw everything
It'll work
at
out
it.
eventually.
Exactly. And the problem is they've run out of downs. They're out of time. This is now potentially overtime here and now for Tyloo.
Oh, what a nightmare. He thought that was enough to get him off the defuse maybe. He had to go for the Glock, and after all his heroics to get to that position, it crumbles again. They've got the AKs, they've got the Jame AWP. We'll see if this will do it. Jame with 2100 left over. Might have distributed the wildfire a bit differently, considering Kicker's got no utility whatsoever, but still. Can they get the opening pick again? It looks like overtime might be likely. Could have been the hero from the previous round, but they've got a 5-on-3. If they don't close it out now, this is going to be an absolute disaster. It looks like it might be done. Somehow we've seen all the rounds here from a 15-5 scoreline. But the 5-on-2 suggests this is done, and this is the sort of play style was winning them rounds. And once again, they look confident, and Buster should be able to close it out here. There it is.
This might be one of the most subdued celebrations for a team qualifying into the next stage of a major you'll ever see, because this, yeah, okay, they win it, but this is airy. This is not what you would have wanted from a 15-5 scoreline. There will certainly be some shadows in the back of their mind in regards to that. It's all on Bintet, 1-on-5, and heartbreaking for Tyloo to come this far back. After a slow start on their own map, they will bow down in the series. I almost said bow out. They're not. Keep that in mind. This is not elimination for Tyloo. They fall to 2-2, but it is all the way through to the legend stage for Avangar.
2-2, but yes, that was very scary. But the fact is they're through to the next stage. They've got plenty of notes there. What started to go wrong? What was the mentality shift to make them look so cagey? Why did Fitch still continue to find frags in the mid-round calls? Just really were going horribly wrong for them. Like he said, CIS style, it kept going down to 10 seconds remaining. They have an advantage, and they get caught off by one incendiary or an AWP player, and then just can't recover it. Scary scenes, and Tyloo will be very disappointed didn't take it to overtime there, but what an attempt that was. You can't argue with that. 15-5 down to 16-14.
Incredible attempt. Certainly shows exactly what Tyloo picked that map for. We saw how incredible the rotations were, how good they were at holding Banana, how just in general the approach was on the CT side, and how successful it was. Avangar got great starts on both maps that led to victories. This whole series could have been a completely different case if not for a few rounds early on by Tyloo at each map.
Yeah, well, there it is. Cash was back and forth, and we thought Inferno was going to be a very one-sided affair after they get the pistol in the second half, but it goes the full distance. Avangar sweating it out, but it's a clean. Round number 30, it got all that way, but they managed to get it done, and that's the headline, Matt. They're through to the next stage. Sure, some mistakes were made, but maybe that had to happen, and they can learn from it.
Well, hopefully they will before tomorrow, because Tyloo's got to play again. Avangar's got some time off until next week. We're going to send it over to the desk with Alex and the boys.
Thanks so much, fellas. Yes, indeed, Avangar have secured themselves a spot in the next stage of competition and have done so relatively convincingly. Were they tested, though? That's the first question I'm going to be throwing at my analyst. Was that the Tyloo of yesterday? And if not, why? Those are the questions I'm throwing towards none other than Sean Gares and Sponge. Here he is.
I think that Tyloo was a little bit off today aim-wise. I do think strategically they're about the same thing as what we saw yesterday. Their first half, though, was pretty abysmal. They won a pistol, a 2 versus 5, and then that pistol force where they took pick control, and then 2 ecos. That's a terrible half of Counter-Strike coming out of Tyloo. But once they get the guns in their hands on CT side, they always look so strong. It's so unfortunate, though, on both maps, their starts were not... They weren't adequate at all.
No, and we can sit here and we can say, look, Tyloo didn't show up and they weren't hitting shots that they normally would, because that is the case. But Avangar also have warmed into this tournament, right? You think about it, they started by losing to Renegade 16-8 on Train. They had a close affair versus Fury on Mirage 16-14, and then over the line against G2 16-10. Now here against Tyloo, a team who we've seen, on fire, taking it to the best of them, giving us an exciting series yesterday against NRG. They showed up today and they were playing confidently until that 15-5 mark, where it started to fall apart. And I think the casters, Matt and Henry, did a fantastic job of highlighting it. They did seem very timid about getting across the line. Last round, they go back to the gameplay that was working, hit the headshots, get it done, win the round.
Tyloo's best of 3s, this one and of course previously versus NRG, have all gone the distance in the 2 maps that they've conceded. It was 16-14, 16-30. Now we find ourselves 16-12, 16-14. Tyloo are the definition of close but no cigar every single time.
Yeah, they just can't get their footing right. When it was 15-5, Summer I think had like 27 damage around, and he's one of their star players at this point. He's had such a phenomenal event. Obviously at the end of the game, he's kind of right up there with the rest of his team, but for him to fall so short early in the game is what really hurt them here.
But the problem is, I want to sit here and say, oh, the slow starts is what's hurting them. They beat Vitality 16-8 and Cloud9 16-3, so it can't be slow starts because in the start of the tournament, they actually showed a different face. It's just in these best of 3s.
It takes so much fortitude, though. Look at these highlights. That was 15-6. Now we find ourselves 15-9, 15-10. We go all the way and concede in the final 30th round. I mean, there's some real ability there. Not many teams can stare down the barrel of 15 for that long and do it consistently. But there are those little slip-ups that, both of you at times have been watching that game kind of with a wince, watching the decision-making unfold.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of said at the beginning of this event when I started watching Tyloo is, they're going to play the exact same, whether it's 2-2 or 14-14. They're fearless in their peaks and they're super aggressive. And eventually the T's just run out of ideas and ways to counter that. And they're very good at taking those early engagements.
But Tyloo's T side, normally they're able to walk into that B bomb site, right, and trade out and then win the post-plant situations. Here, nobody was able to get the multi-frags after they were either entering into the site with their spacing or when they had the bomb site to close out the retake. So Buster and Kickert over towards B did a fantastic job of subduing them, and that just forced them to start going into the barrel towards A, and that's a much harder bomb site to take, a lot more angles to clear. If they hold on to the utility, you get put in a really rough spot. So props to Avangar because, look, they played a fantastic game today and they've guaranteed themselves next week in the Legend stage.
Very impressed by just how uniform the frag distribution is. We get hung up on Jame and his all-pink prowess, but I mean, I think Kickert and Buster were both having their real moments to shine in the sun, I should say, in Inferno. They looked fantastic, and of course, Fitch right alongside them in the frags.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Fitch on Cash, and then I thought, Kickert and Jame had a phenomenal Inferno, particularly Jame. I thought he was opening up a lot of the rounds. Fish in the apps did a really good job as well.
Yeah, I was talking about the opening kill statistics that we saw go down on that first map, and it was heavily in the favor of the side of Avangar. It's the same situation on map number 2 as well. There's 20 opening frags in the favor of Avangar to only 10 of Tyloo. So they're really struggling in that regard, finding the opening kills against Avangar, because you notice they're not afraid to take those duels. You can say the same thing against NRG when we saw it go down yesterday. They're another team who loves to play heads-up Counter-Strike. So some things that Tyloo really need to, work out before Sunday.
Got an AWP head-to-head here. Jame versus versus Excura, and Excura actually relatively quiet. Felt like Avangar issued a gag order towards the sniper of Tyloo because he wasn't able or put in a position to be able to make the same impact he has typically.
No, he had decent games, but by no means were these, these weren't the games we've come to expect when we watch him play. He gets so many impact frags late in the games too, and that just wasn't here today.
It felt like Avangar had the 5 best players over the whole series. I know that seems weird, but it wasn't like they were just carried across the line like Breezy had to do yesterday against Tyloo. This was everybody contributing, and that attests to that stat line that we saw where everyone was relatively even.
Everyone even, but one man at the top of the table for Avangar, it was Fitch, who the highest rated player from that series. He's standing by now with Frankie.
Thanks to this guy, I have no nails left. Thanks, Fitch. Talk me through that T-side on Inferno, because you had us all guessing at the end whether you were going to make it to before overtime.
Yeah, so our captain told us, like, guys, we have to play more passive right now. They will push somewhere, so we'll have to wait till they will mistake. And just, I don't know, every time when we was trying to go to B side, then something was always wrong. So for the last round, actually, he said, go A, try to take A. And he said, I can flash, pop flash, and A apps, and you can kill the guy. And it's worked. I don't know. God bless the T-side's pistol round, actually. We just won the pistol round, then three more rounds for the score was like 15-6, right? And they just did the crazy comeback, and so we're lucky today.
Can you explain to me what it's like to perform under such pressure with so much at stake?
It's hard. Yeah, I mean, a lot of players just scary to play like that. Yes, it's kind of difficult to play like you always playing, because you have to play little, like, not like you usually playing. So it's kind of like, I don't know, actually. So.
But look, your firepower got you through today, but what's the plan to prepare for that Legend stage?
No, we knew that they gonna pick the Inferno, so we watched a lot of demos of them's Inferno. We knew that we gonna pick Cash, and about the decider match, decider map, we also know it. So now, we won Cash, but we were really scary about Inferno because they're really strong on them, and I don't know, we're lucky, so we just started for the CT side and won 10 rounds in a row. Like, that's crazy.
But quickly, tell me what you're going to do to prepare for Legends.
So we're just gonna watch a lot of demos, and play some Dota first of all, before the match. So Dota chess, to be exact. So now we got some few days of vacations, 3, 4, I don't know exactly, but we will play some pracs before the matches, before the major stage, Legend stage, and we'll see.
I think you probably want to go and have a celebration with your teammates, so I should probably let you go, Fitch, but congratulations.
Thank you so
Epic
much.
match, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Let's head back to the desk.
That's Fitch there, and a little bit of ASMR from him as well. Frankie getting the answers we need, so they're going to be relaxing, I suppose. I mean, why did I recoil when I heard, oh, we're going to be playing a different game, we're going to be kicking back, we're going to be relaxing?
Yeah.
That's not the end of the world.
I was going to ask Chad how he feels about that, actually.
You can have tonight off.
Can we call it a vacation?
I'll let you have
that might
this
just be a
evening
language
off.
barrier.
You can go out tomorrow night for dinner.
Yeah.
But if you're not in that prac room, pracking, then I'm going to have a couple words to say. But Fitch, he joined Gambit, remember? Think back at the time. Then he was removed from Gambit, and now he's had to build his way back up with Avangar, and now he's in the Legend stage of the major. So fantastic work for him as a personal journey.
It must be a huge accomplishment for them as well, from the region, Kazakhstan now in the Legends stage. James, of course, from Russia as well. But a huge achievement from them. They've managed to gather their resources. It's a very similar story, in a sense, to ENTS, where it comes down to an underrepresented region just finally having the resources in the right place.
Yeah, they've had so many upsets over the course of the last year, but they finally culminated here at the major, and they've put together quite a performance here to go 3-1 and advance to that Legend stage.
Yeah, all locked in, and we're going to go ahead and tie that up and put a bow on it. We are done with that. Avangar through. Tyloo are going to be playing a survival match tomorrow. But for now, actually that's a lie, the day after tomorrow. It gets a little confusing, but for now we are going to be taking a break. When we do come back, we're going to be talking all about what we've seen so far and what is still to come. Join us then.